Welcome to our episode on the ACMK podcast with me, Nancy Valin. This is our second episode. The first episode we did was about a month ago, where we introduced the podcast, we introduced the CMK, and we introduced the construction industry. So just a recap for anyone who may not have seen the first episode, and please go and check it. So ACMK is the Association of Construction Managers of Kenya, and the purpose of this podcast is to discuss all things construction with both construction professions and even people who are not in the construction industry. So I am a construction project manager and the current vice chair for ACMK. And we'll go right into today's episode. So like you may have seen from the description, we are joined by one of our top construction managers in Kenya. And most of you, I know you've interacted with him in one way or another, either on your screens, in workshops, in your projects. Others, he's been a mentor to most of us. So he's probably not new to anybody. But my introduction to him is going to be a bit biased for reasons you will know as we proceed. So I'm just going to let him introduce himself.
Wow. Thank you very much, Valin. My name is Nashon Okowa. I'm a construction project manager first and foremost. I'm an author. Yes, I write books.
Yeah.
I'm a columnist with the Standard and People's Daily. Yes, I think that summarizes. I'm a former chair of the association. So yeah.
Yeah. Karibu.
Thank you
to
very
our
much.
episode.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty. So the episode today we are talking about your story to being the top construction manager. So that already puts you, gives you a lot of responsibility. Yeah? So when I was trying to think about how to structure the episode, right, it got me thinking about the first interaction that I had with you personally. Can you remember?
No, I don't.
Really?
When was that?
When you were the chair of the
Oh,
ACMK,
okay.
and there was a CRESA event at UN.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time I was in third year. That was the first time I heard.
You make me sound very old. And I'm still very young, you know.
We need to redefine old and young as a country. But for now, we're both youngsters. But yeah, that was the first time we had an interaction with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the first year of being the chair.
Okay.
I don't remember well, anyway. But I'm hurt that you do not remember. Maybe
Yeah. I met a lot of students, so it's good I met you and you've turned out the way you are, so that you can remember I came to campus.
Okay. Let's just get right into it, which
Yes.
is because I feel like that can go into another direction real quick, which is your story as a construction manager, right? So how do you get into construction industry? How, maybe just brief, and then you can join that with brief highlights of your career, which has been the last 20 years.
No, I'm quite young. The last 13. Now, I was to be a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was to be a lawyer.
Oh, my God, that would have been.
That was what my mother wanted me to do. So, in Form 4, I have a sister who is a lawyer. So, where I come from, you need to neutralize the sister by having a son also being a lawyer. So, I was to be a lawyer, filled in law school in Form 4. Then, when the results came out, I wanted to come to Nairobi because I grew up, I'm born and bred in the village.
Okay.
So I wanted to come to Nairobi. So when the results came out and I checked the points for Nairobi, I was marked on the point. That time it was 43. I still remember. So I had 43, which is cut-off points for UN law.
Okay.
But I was on the edge. So I talked to someone and told me, listen, if you miss law in UN, you'll go to Moi, you go outside Nairobi. So the thought of going to Eldoret just scared me off, you know. It's not far off from me. I considered Eldoret to be a village that time. Sorry if people come from Eldoret. I know it's now a city, but then I didn't want to go to Eldoret.
Okay.
So I sneaked in, went and did revision of courses. My mother didn't know, so I went to do revision of courses. And I just looked through, and I reached this course called construction management, and I was attracted by the name. Nothing else. I honestly did not know what it entailed.
Okay.
If I knew it had drawing, I would not have chosen it. I hated drawing. That's why I didn't do geography. That the idea of just measuring a road with a thread alone and scared me off. So I just did history. So I chose construction management. But funnily, I chose it in JQuat as option one.
Oh, okay.
And yet I got called to Nairobi University.
Which year was that?
I did my KCSE in 205, so doing revisions
Oh.
in 206. Those days you had to take almost a year out of campus
Before you came to
joined.
camp.
Yeah, so I chose construction management by default. I didn't know anything about it.
That is interesting. Someone would think that you are so...
No.
You purposely meant to come for construction management.
No. I've just made lemonade from the lemons. Yeah, life gave me lemons, and I've made lemonade from those.
You say that
from those from those lemons. So, I get called. My mother gets surprised with the new course. She has nothing else to do. I have to come to campus. So, I come to campus, first year, University of Nairobi. We were actually the first lot.
Yeah, that's why I asked which year that was.
207.
Oh, okay.
We were the first lot, the guinea pigs of construction management, University of Nairobi. Everything was tried and tested with us.
I
Yeah,
don't know whether to thank you guys or
whether
not.
a lecturer knows how to teach or not. They
The
will try a
courses.
lecturer, the courses. We will go to exam rooms, and they forgot to set our exams. So BCM people come out, wait until tomorrow. You know, we did cuts and end semester exams together because lecturer forgot to set the cut.
Or even the lecturers were all new. Or, because I would think
they had no.
them.
Okay, as some lecturers were there, but you see, no one understood the course.
Ah, okay.
Nobody understood exactly what we were doing. So everything was tried and tested. There's no past paper, so you can't even ask anyone. There's no one ahead of you. You are the head. So got into first year. Honestly speaking, I hated drawings.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
First year there was the freehand drawing. 2D.
Yeah, I remember
Was it?
Professor Rukwaro studio, and he says, "You need to buy this." He said, "No, I chose construction management. It should not have drawing. Now there's drawing, the studio for 4 years." What
Yep.
do you mean? So I tell people deliberately, I worked hard to get a passing studio. I didn't want to do more than that. I didn't get a passing studio. I got way more, but I said this one I will just do the bare minimum.
Okay, we might come back to it later, but that drawing, the studio, the project, because even the project for CM was purely architectural designs. How do you think that has come back now in actual practicing for a CM?
I've held the view that we need to limit studio in campus
Yeah.
to probably up to maximum of second year if possible. People think third year, but I think second year you'll appreciate it enough. I've never touched ArchiCAD since I left campus. But the appreciation of the concept of how an architect needs to design, and where a door needs to be and where a window needs to be, and that appreciation of it, it's fundamental for a project manager, and I've lived that all through.
Okay.
So yes, not to say that architectural work for PM or CM is not important. It is important. My issue of limiting it for 4 years is because I think by maybe third year you should have appreciated it enough. And the concept of how an architect needs to design properly should be taught up to a certain level, and then you're led to do management.
Okay.
But it is extremely relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth year project before we finish with your schooling. So for the fourth year, you also did a design project.
I did
right?
hostels. Yeah, I still remember I did hostels. Hostel was as my project.
Yeah, clearly studio was not your stronghold. Hostel, really?
Look, the thing is, when I was getting to fourth year, I wanted to be a project manager. And by second year, for me, I had decided I'm going to the office. I'm not going to work with a contractor. I had decided, and I knew exactly what I wanted. And with my small readings that I started way back, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I knew too much effort on architecture when I leave campus would not decide our practice. There's something more that I need to do. So I rode with the bare minimum. I chose lighter load to carry while in campus. So I did hostel as my project. Fantastic. And it was amazing. I loved that project.
I need
Yeah.
your transcripts. There's something I need to confirm. Just teeny tiny, so I'll go
No,
to you after
I
this.
passed. I
But-
passed
but
my studio very well.
I'm not doubting that. There's just something I really need to see on that. But do you think it's about time we change the project for CMs? Because, like you've said, you've never touched an ACAD.
For-
Same here.
For
Okay.
13 years.
Okay, mine is for Bosco. I haven't dealt with ArchiCAD. So the first year, second year, third year, that makes sense to learn the designs and everything because you're going to be managing the people designing. You're going to be managing those designs. So you need to know what you're doing. However, for a project that you submit at the end of the course, do you think we need to make it more management related rather than design? Because we do a project like we are architects. Is there something we can improve that as a country or
I 100%. I think our fourth year projects for construction managers needs to emulate what you're going to practice.
Yeah.
So I would expect a project of show me how you're going to do time management on a project. Yeah, like do for me that time management plan for a project.
Yeah.
And it could be a dam, it could be all those projects would require different plans for time management. Show me how you intend to achieve your scope management. So a project needs to, the fourth year projects need to encompass exactly what
you will
a
do.
construction manager is supposed to do, whether it's going to work with a contractor or on site. The aspect of management
Yeah.
will be important. But when you give me to do a project in fourth year where I do a BQ, and the moment I step out after a month,
Yeah.
I will never do that
yeah,
BQ.
we actually did
Yeah, we do.
measurements.
Yeah, we
like
did
all
measure.
the way
Yeah.
from.
And the fourth year project, we did BQs.
Yeah.
Okay, I will appreciate the work program. Yeah, it makes some sense.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's a question of give me the project that revolve around the project management.
Yeah.
That would be important rather than design.
Funny enough, for the QSs, they do a written report.
Yeah.
And for us, we're out here
Doing a
doing a
studio.
whole measurement book from all the way from even. That's weird. Maybe it's something we need to pick up.
We have. When I was chair,
how is that
I know
going?
when I was chair, we tried to. I remember meeting all the departments of various universities. We did, and given some of these proposals, I think universities have this thing of a curriculum must take 10 years before it's amended.
Yeah.
I think UN one is the one that could be ripe for those amendments. The rest are still behind. I know JQuat have changed it. It was 5, now they amended it to 4. But there are certain fundamentals in a project. I will expect even that fourth year project to have elements of feasibility and market study as part of that project. So, because you need to curate a project all the way as a PM, understand how a project functions in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
So have feasibility, have market reports, then do a management plan, whether it is resource procurement, stakeholder management, which is a big problem on projects. How do you intend to carry out if you're doing a project in Turkana tool oil, which could be described for you? Give us how you intend to manage stakeholders on that project. So we need to change those fourth year plans. They are not reflecting what we
we're
practice.
doing. Yeah. So you've said when you're chair, you had picked that up. Is
We
it
did. We did.
still an ongoing discussion, or is it?
No, and I think there needs to be a follow up with the various departments
Yeah.
in universities. But I know we went out, we met JQuat. I know JQuat at the time wanted to return back to a 5-year program, which we opposed. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the 4-year program they have. In fact, it needs to remain 4 years. We had those discussions submitted to them. We had discussions with TUC. I know they wanted to start their masters and doctorates, look at those curriculum. We had a lengthy discussion in University of Nairobi with Jaramogi and KU. We have. So a question of picking those things up so that as an association, we need to align those programs.
Yeah.
Because if you look at those programs as well, some of them are far off. I don't want to say this thing is
I was
public.
going to ask you.
Yeah, I won't say that. I'll be careful. I know my words have some weight in it, so I won't say, but some of them are far off, yeah. Some universities are coming on board. Kirinyaga, we had a program with, that I can say because it's public, we had an issue with the curriculum of Kirinyaga. So that we align them. The fourth year programs need to have the same. I know universities like to name programs to attract people. How the name is, for me, I have no problem, but let's have a proper guidelines, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that's something that still needs to be picked up.
Yeah.
Like in the last 1 year, has there been any progress on that?
None that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's work to be done there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good thing you're still at the council of the ACMK, so we can easily reassign that to you. But okay. So that from your 4 years study, what were the main highlights before we come into now after you came
No,
out?
honestly, I don't think I enjoyed campus.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's part of the reason why I've never gone back, even to do masters. I'm content with the degree, and I'll do masters at some point. I think I suffered a lot.
Why?
It harassed me. The course really harassed me. I don't know what it does to people these days, but there was no free time. Any time you had, you on studio, you are just constantly doing this work. I didn't enjoy campus.
What would
Yeah.
enjoy campus mean?
I mean,
What would you have done
people
if you
were
enjoyed
relaxed.
campus?
People had time to walk around in the CBD of Nairobi. That time, any free time, you either on studio, and I used to play football, so either on studio or you're in the field. I won't say like our BA friends who had a lot of time that I enjoyed campus. Yet I came to enjoy campus. So 4 years was not easy. Construction management course is a tough one, to be honest. It requires a lot of dedication,
Yeah.
and a big part of it is studio. That's why I've had a problem in studio, because it takes a big chunk of a CM's life in campus, and yet when you finish, you don't practice that big chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, the management units, you'll just find maybe 2 or 3 per semester. Yet
Yeah.
those are the ones that actually carry the. But is it also because we don't have, other than recently, have had Kina, Irene, Esther, but for the longest we didn't have CMs training CMs. We didn't have CM lecturers. We had architects and QSs, sometimes even a lawyer.
That's true.
Training.
The course was started by people who had no background in CM
Yeah.
per se. So we appreciate them for that. But I also think it's time for people like ourselves to go back and lecture. I think I have said that many times. I don't want to exclude myself. And I know I will lecture at some point. Yes, I will go back to lecture.
After you do your master's.
But I think I need to lecture Tuk.
Why Tuk?
Looks nice.
Tuk looks nice.
Yeah, I like it. It's just a personal preference.
Like once.
I know you and people are going to be pissed off with this, but
No, but Tuk.
yeah.
Okay.
It's closer to town, you just walk on foot on the bridge. Yeah, but I've always dreamt of lecturing at Tuk. I don't know why. But we'll see. But I'm glad that there's an influx of people with background in CM who are now going back to lecture. I think over time it will change how the course look like. But I'm hoping universities will be open to looking at that course outline. Yeah. But 4 years, as I said, I got into CM. I didn't know what it entailed. It shocked me first semester, first few months. But once I realized I'm past the era of what do you want to do when you grow up, that era was done for me.
Yeah.
I'm in CM. I have to make do with what I've been called to do, and I made it blossom.
Okay, so starting out, where did you start out?
I think I'm one of the lucky people that didn't tarmac.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, but it's
you
not
went straight.
It's not a divine blessing that I didn't tarmac. I worked hard not to tarmac while on campus.
How
This is how I got my job. I think by 4th year I was the president of CRESA as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was known by a lot of students. So when I'd finished campus, someone just called me and said, I went somewhere, actually my first 2 jobs. So here's the thing. I wanted to work with the PM. I didn't want to be a contractor.
Okay.
But I first worked with a contractor. But you'll never see it in my CV because
I've also never had that.
Yeah, I just deleted it. But it's good to tell people. So the first job that came my way was a contractor job. And I got it from a third year who said, I've gone to this farm and they're looking for CM. Actually, they're looking for a QS CM.
Okay.
I said, why not? It was called Seremala Construction.
Are they still there? Why are you saying it was called? We need to do maybe a search for that.
They were based in industrial area.
Okay.
So I went for the interview. I think there were 15 of us. Went for the interview and I was the only one chosen.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm good.
Again, I've told you that thing about this word. It's called humility in the dictionary. If you could,
I,
in your free
no,
time.
I think in life you don't have to wait for people to toot your horn. Just do it yourself. I know myself. I know. I always think I can't fail an interview. Just a belief I have. So
Is
good.
this an interview? Because I
So
can purposely give you a C and
so
just.
so I go to Seremala
Mm-hmm.
and I get the job, but I left after 1 month.
Why?
I guess could stomach it.
Were you being a CM, or were you being a contractor, or were you being what was your role? How would you
CM
describe it?
come QS.
Oh,
We're
okay.
supposed to measure. They were doing a lot of equity jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I traveled almost all over Central, all Kalau. And the thing is, when we'll go to site, when you come back, we're on the back of the pickup with Waru on it. And now this is a graduate. This is a graduate. You understand why I hated contractors.
Yeah.
We're coming back from Kalau and we are in the middle of, so the owner buys Waru, we're in the back of the pickup, and this is a graduate CM sitting there, we are from side. I told myself, I can't do this. This is not what I came to life to do. So I took 1 month. It was honestly speaking, it was one of those worst run companies I ever met. Yeah.
So when you say at that time you felt like this is not what you are meant to do, what was in your mind? What did you think you were meant to do at that time?
I was supposed to wear a suit. I wanted to be a project manager. And from what I'd found out, project managers are supposed to dress a certain way. That's why people always say, Nashon, you don't dress down. Yeah, because this is what I dreamt of. And when life gave me what I dreamt of, I'm not putting my ties down.
So you're always in suits, like.
Yeah, but I'm dressed down today, right?
Have you?
So, and I did it deliberately, because if I was in suits, they would say, yeah, Nash, Kawaida, he'll be on suits.
Nashon,
So-
you have what is this thing called?
I don't know what it is.
That is.
This is proper dress down. This is now, I'm casual. This is very casual. Casual
We'll
project.
check where the camera is showing, because
Casual project manager. Yeah, so
today's Friday. Casual.
this is casual Friday.
with this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just makes it
I
go
think
down. So
we will redefine.
I worked in Seremala for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then I left Seremala. When I left Seremala again, one of the guys that were behind me
Mm-hmm.
tells me there's a company looking for vacancy.
Mm-hmm.
And this time somehow because that is Trident Estate. So when I go to Trident, I decided not to send the CV. I just decided to Google. They were at Parker Plaza, Westland. I said, I'm going to Trident with my CV. Yeah, I'm going to ask to see the person in charge.
Okay.
And sometimes life just aligns things for you when you're bold enough. So I walked to the reception and I asked the lady, I want to see the project manager. And she asked me, she's still a friend of mine today, by the way.
Yeah.
She's, do you know him? I said, no. She said, there he is. I said, and he points me to me where the project manager is. And I went. And he did for me an interview.
Interesting.
That is the person that actually shaped me to Nashon you see. And that is how I began my journey to as assistant project manager. I worked there for 5.5, 6 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just to go back to how you got that interview. I think I had when I was finishing, I told you I met you in third year.
Yeah.
I think you had given me a highlight of that, how you got into Trident, because funny enough, when I was looking for a job, I think I was during my last semester, my employer at the time, when he asked me, so what are you doing in campus and how can we help you, rather than me explaining, oh, this is what CM does, I would like this kind of job, I found myself asking, what does your company has to offer me? And for and for the first maybe like 10-15 minutes, it was just him trying to sell me his company until he realized, wait a minute, no, you tell me.
I'm supposed to be the employer here.
You tell me. But okay, so you went to Trident for 6 years.
Yeah, 5.5, 6 years. That company molded me to the person I am. That company taught me how to dress, taught me how to speak, it taught me how to be a project manager, it taught me how to wear suits and ties. So it molded me to the nation that I am. And I did projects all over. All over the region with Trident.
Okay, before we dive too much into it, how much of a PM is physical? How much is let me rephrase it. How much is being a great PM, right, or a top construction manager? How much of it is attributable to how you present yourself? Like you're saying, to dress, how you talk, how you. So how much of it?
150%.
150.
Yes. Project management is fast PR. People don't know. Project management, it's not like any other course. Okay? You are expected to look a certain way.
Okay.
You're expected to talk a certain way. You're expected to behave a certain way for you to attract. Because unlike most consultants, probably architects come close, but we must attract. You must look like you can manage 1 billion project. So
Okay.
project management is fast PR, and how you look matters a lot. And sometimes I look at the people behind us, the
Yeah.
young construction managers. I was like, come on, go to
Am I
Eastleigh,
part
get a
of the people
suit.
behind you?
Yeah. I don't know whether you're in that lot, but it will not change. Just like lawyers dress a certain way,
Yeah.
bankers dress a certain way. You're not going to get away with the Gen Zs and the millennials, how they want to dress, how they want,
Yeah.
and be a serious project manager. You won't. That's the thing. So one of the things that I thank Trident for is it taught me that. If you ask my mother, she will tell you I hated suits. Like literally hated suits. I changed. Okay? And project management changed me because that is how we were expected to present ourselves
Yeah.
and win jobs. And honestly, I've carried it all through. So if you're going to be a project manager and to those top levels,
Yeah. You have to look the
we
part.
must expect you to have certain English phrases in your sentences. Yeah.
Circle back.
You can't have lazy communication as a project manager.
What do you mean lazy communication?
A lot of construction managers have lazy communication.
Please explain that. Lazy communication. We just.
Have you ever seen how people write emails?
Yeah.
You've seen how architects, engineers, or surveyor write emails, or contractors.
PFA.
Like, what is this? They get away with so much. As someone who wants to manage mega projects,
Yeah.
you can't get away with those kind of things. When you talk, when you communicate an email, we need to see you as cultured, not uncouth. As a project manager.
I was already nervous enough about my emails. Thank you very much for adding that up.
So you have to build your linguistic, your communication skills, in your confidence as a project manager. It's something you have to work on. You won't get away with it.
So how do you work on that? Because remember, some of these people you are talking to, English is not their first language also, and you also don't want to sound like you're just confusing people with corporate jargon. So
no, I think first of all, if someone thinks this is a lot of work, they need to change course.
And go to
design, you can be an artist, okay? Yeah, you can sing, get something else to do. But the thing is, if you're going to be a project manager, and I've done it for 13 years, we require you to behave a certain way. And you have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You have to work on your communication skills. So if you realize you have this, what Thomas Erickson in his book will call a red, okay, or choleric. You're so abrupt, okay?
Thomas Erickson has done the Surrounded
by Idiots.
Okay.
Surrounded by Idiots. It's one of the best books for understanding people. So if you look at how you communicate, you have a problem with your communication skills, which is taught in campus, but it's a common unit. So
we didn't attend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you begin to communicate? You must begin your emails with a dear, a hi, a good morning. You're not abrupt, and you must sign off your emails, and you must write however rude the other person is.
Yeah.
You must maintain your calm. So you can't be lazy in your communication. You must work on how you communicate. When you speak, you must know where there's a comma and a full stop.
Okay.
And a semicolon. Like you are a leader. A project manager is a leader. Leadership requires to have those attributes. So don't get away with it. When others will get away with it, you won't. So what I tell people all the time, if you're going into these professions, work on yourself.
Okay.
Really work on yourself. Work on how you look, work on your dressing, work on your language.
So for those three, the looks, the dressing, the language, what are the best practices to work on yourself on those? Like, is it reading books? Is it having a mentor? Is it how do you curate that in you?
I think nobody gets away with not having a mentor and succeeding.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, nobody gets away. Not probably I did. I looked at people from far, but you struggle a lot.
Oh, you didn't have like a...
No, I never had a mentor in my life.
Ah, okay.
But
Have that changed?
in that you struggle a lot because it will require you to be exceptional to get away with life without a mentor. And a lot of people are not exceptional. A lot of people are mediocre. You get the point? Because we are naturally lazy human beings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our nature as human beings. So you don't get away without a mentor. You need to get a mentor, so that someone who can show you, look, there's a corner ahead, there's a curve, there's a pothole here, there's something on your way. Watch out, and you're guided on that journey of how do you present yourself, how do you communicate, how do you run projects, what are the personal developments that you need to work on. Nobody gets away without reading. At least if you want to write to those levels.
Yeah.
Reading is essential for those who wants to rise above the ordinary. Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
So one of the things again you do is personal development is reading, and I think an architect will get away without reading,
Yeah.
but a project manager you won't, because the bedrock of your work is communication.
Yeah.
You talk a lot. You're on phone calls. You are writing a lot of reports and emails. So your sentence structure, there's no way you're going to develop it without reading.
Yeah.
And this is the shock thing. A lot of what makes someone a better CM is Gordon After Campus.
Oh yeah.
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 People don't know that.
Yeah.
But what is going to differentiate you from the rest, you're going to get it from campus.
Yeah.
It's something that's entirely on you.
So you said you got away without having a mentor because you're exceptional. Again, that word, humility. Like, if you just do a quick Google search.
I don't think it was. I don't think if someone had told me that's a mentor you can have, I would have taken.
Okay.
That's the truth. It's not that I wanted not to. I think I didn't see one. And partly why I decided to start mentorship program,
Yeah.
so that people see mentors that they can go to, because I didn't have mentorship. I didn't have mentorship.
How is your mentorship program coming along? What are the highlights of having a...
No, I think it's coming along well. This is the 5th year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since 2019. This is the 5th year. We are with the 5th cohort.
Okay.
This year was at the highest applications, 122, and they chose 30. So there's a lot of people who want to be mentored. But the thing is, I also met a lot of people that are not in the program. I just have, I think every week.
Naming us?
Yeah, I'll start naming the person sitting next to me. So I will not go into names, but for me,
Yeah.
if I have to work with someone a journey in this industry, CMs, I would.
Before we close the episode, I would just like to mention that today we're shooting this at Tilisi in one of their villas, their Q3 houses. We'll put up some pictures just for you guys to see the quality of work that's being done at Tilisi. Come visit, have a look and see what they have to offer for you. Thank you very much. Give us a comment. Let us know what more you want Nashon to come and talk about or clarify, and I'll see you in our next episode.